Good afternoon. First and foremost, go to the website. Go to the website. If you're on YouTube, it's going to be in the description. If you're on TikTok, it's the link in the bio. Go to the website, scroll down. You will see the plan for how to implement and how legislative authority will benefit you as a citizen. It will benefit you, and you will also see how you can support by simply investing your time in a dime that you're going to pay of your own volition to your supervisor of elections office to turn in a petition if you are in the state of Florida. It means that much. I am wagering my entire campaign on citizens wanting a seat at the table. I'm wagering everything on the belief that citizens indeed want a say so. We have all heard many political figures say that they are representatives of the people, even ones that you voted for and you do not agree with everything that they do. And if you had the ability to say no, you probably would. I won't even say that you will say no, but you have the availability to say no. Direct democracy. That is our next pathway, direct democracy. And at the state level, it's important. If you are not in the state of Florida, you should be hoping that someone in your state is pushing for direct democracy, giving citizens more of an active role in how they shape their economy, how they shape their future. We have got to hedge the bet on ourselves. We can work to create. Right now, every time something happens, who are the first people? No matter what happens, they go to the majority, which are the citizens, except for when it is time for you to weigh in. Once you need a seat at the table or speaking points, everybody's got a reason why you shouldn't have something to say. Well, we cannot take in this many responses. So we're just going to have to narrow it down. Absolutely not. We're just going to progressively think on how to get the majority to figure out what we need to do. But we're not going to put it in the hands of singular individuals. We're going to give the things that affect the majority vote. We're going to give it to the majority. You're going to be hired from here on out to bring the information and give us your input. But after your input is given, whomever the majority is that your input affects, that is who's going to decide if it's best for them or not and how this is going to happen. The who, what, when, where, why, and how must and will be provided. Right now, there is entirely too much uncertainty with all of the information available. There's too much information available for there to be uncertainty. How long are we supposed to endure? Give us a rough estimate. You came up with the plan. Tell us about how long you think it's going to take for us to get through this. That's not too much for any citizen to ask. But when you are not accountable, you do not have to provide answers because you're not accountable to the people. You're only accountable to the people because you needed a seat. And now that you got the seats, now that all of these representatives have the seats, they lose accountability to the people. But they talk like they're representing you. I need to ensure, I will be a governor that will ensure that elected officials in the state of Florida are accountable to citizens, not just by recall either. You will be accountable to citizens. Citizens will have the ability to completely halt legislation that is not going to work for the majority. That is where we need to be. And that's what we all should be striving for. If you look over this entire globe, citizens are always asking, can we be heard? Why do they keep asking that question? This is global because the way we have implemented structure has been rice bowling or marginalizing the power to a specific group. And that specific group, unfortunately, has allowed itself to be ran by the highest bidders. This is why I will not run a campaign based on finances. You will never hear that I raise X amount of millions of dollars, because I don't want your money, because it doesn't go to citizens. It doesn't go to citizens. So why are we taking money from citizens that doesn't go to citizens? Be the voice. Be your candidate's voice. And then put a candidate for the people, by the people, in the seat. And watch me give citizens legislative authority. I don't want to take anything from you. I want to give you legislative authority. And then I want to bring you ideas on how we're going to tackle the issues that citizens are having. I want to bring that to you. Hey, if you're in Volusia County and I hear you had a problem down there, here are the pros and cons of this bill and how we're looking to solve this problem. And here is how finances, here's how taxes are going to weigh in. Here's how we're going to handle this. If you're okay with this, what's going to be taxed? We're going to look at taxing this, this, and this. When this bill comes out, those things that we said we're going to tax, they will not change. So you will know where you're going to see your increase. We are too far ahead in our technology to not be able to bring forth this information to our citizens and allow them to have an informed decision. Everybody feels like they're overtaxed. Everybody does. But you know what? I guarantee you it's more than likely because of the mismanagement of how our tax money is used, because we don't find it being used for citizens. We know that there are things that we need, but what do they always say when it comes to, they say, hey, you need to pay for schools, you need to pay for police, you need to pay for fire, you need to pay for emergency services. But citizens need more than that. There are other things. There are other things. I just want to get citizens a seat at the table. That's the number one sole policy and sole goal of mine, is to get citizens a seat at the table by way of integrity. You guys have a great day.